better do my hair. I better do my hair first. My wife will yell at me. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Jubilee Day. This is my favorite day. This is my favorite day. I'm so glad we got two people in the room, and now I'm ready to go. That's great, 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 great. Hey, everybody. So glad y'all could join us for the Book of Jubilees. This is Wednesday at 7 o'clock. This is going to be an interesting show. The Book of Jubilees itself is really a great topic. But the things that we've got to show you today, ooh, boy. I don't know if y'all saw my the 7 seals of the Apocrypha and that TikTok that I did with the 7 seals. That's a cool little book. I've been working on that for a couple of days. And that book that I built with these seals and all that stuff, it gives the scriptures. But it hit me like a ton of bricks, man, right there, that 5th seal, when it says they were under the altar. And it was because we were all reading the Acts of Pilate. It says what happened whenever he went during Revelation 20 and went under the altar. And that's just a super, super great story. I can't wait to talk about those guys and the 4 horses of the apocalypse. We got a great show. Arkansas Gigi, Daily Inspiration. That's my son, Arkansas Gigi, Lisa. I see all these great names in there. Thank you so much. These are all my prayer warriors out there. When somebody asks me to get a prayer going, I'm going to ask y'all to help me out with that. And I'm going to keep going my lesson. But I certainly do appreciate all my prayer warriors that joined the room. And they're all in here, man. You can just see them, all the things that happen. And these people communicate with me during the day, and I love it, man. I was just talking with Georgia Peaches, I believe it was, and just telling her we said a prayer for her son, and we absolutely will keep doing stuff like that, because I'm all about bringing y'all on this road with me and us enjoying the reading the word together. So let me make sure, is my voice coming through okay? Is everything ones we missed? Let me see what's happening. Is my voice coming through okay? Nashville says hello. I love Nashville, man. That's a beautiful place. Nashville says hello. Yay, Randy. Thank you so much. You know, I'm deaf, but AJ was in here recording something, and he had changed one of the gains down on the microphone. And I mean to tell you, I recorded this whole TikTok, and it sounded like a little too low. So we had to do it all over again. I love you too, Christian NRG. I love it. Oh, Christian Energy. It's such a cool name. Y'all had the bestest names. I had this like trumpet. But trumpet's better than Greg. That's the one my mama stuck me with right there. Hello from, oh man, I love Canada. We went on a whale watching thing. Kenmore Air flew us, me and Jill, over to go get on this whale boat and watch this whale watching. And that was a long time ago when I first met Jill. And we went whale watching. We sure did. Right up there. And, oh, Canada. Man, I got some great people up there in Canada. I love that place, man. It's a little cold. But I was surprised how much it rained there. We went to Ketchikan, Alaska, and I was thinking that, God, it probably snows a lot. It rains there all the time. They were just like going, it rains here like 6 feet of rain. I was like, what? And it's the craziest thing in the world. I was thinking of snow. What's up, brother? Wisconsin. I love it. I am excited to learn. Thank you so much, hey, Kelly. I certainly appreciate learning about the seals and learning the things that we do. Just reading these books with you is what's caused me to put all this together. I just want you to know that any of this stuff, when I go and I write a book like this right here, and that's 20-something pages or so, that's what I do. I have to put this in writing for me. I have to turn around and take anything that I'm going to be studying, like tonight's lesson, when I load that up, I want you to be reading off the same piece of paper, because you might see something in that scripture that I don't see. And, when they start talking about the white horse or the crowns and the guy riding them, that's Jesus, man. I mean, that's right at the beginning of it, and Jesus is God. So just know that the first seal was at the beginning of creation, and that's not what my topic is tonight. I don't want to get too far off, but I was so excited about that I made this book. I put it all together for you, and I just can't wait to go through and quantify all of these things that sort of lead right up to the 7th day. And but it's the seals, the seven seals. Get this now. When they crack the seventh seals, there's silence in heaven for about an hour, and then they start blowing the trumpets, and then ye double ha, buddy. That's when the start come up. The only page come across on my FYP page that I actually mean to click. Abby, I love that you do that. So thank you so much. You know, I like this more and more. And it's like tomorrow morning, I'm going on right around 9 o'clock, man. Me and AJ, I got big TikTok to do, and I got it filmed and all that stuff and got the stuff going. But I want to search out another crowd in the morning. And we're going to go over all these seals at 9 o'clock, I think, in the morning. And I'm going to produce some of this stuff out. But I also want you to go, when you go to my link tree and download the lessons and what have you, subscribe to my link tree, because it's going to give me your email address. Now, I've got like 1,500 email addresses on my link tree. And we're going to try to send out a mass email tomorrow to all the people that are subscribed on my link tree. And these types of things, I'm going to see if I can send this kind of stuff in the email, because it's too big and too many with the pictures and all that stuff to save. You'll see some of these pictures. I put pictures with everything, all the scriptures with it. It's absolutely cool. You can go, if you haven't downloaded the study guide for tonight, you're going to be looking, our study guide. This is so great. And this is the scripture right out of the book of Jubilees. So this is the Dead Sea Scrolls translation of the book of Jubilees. That's what we're going to be reading tonight. But when you go download my work, you can go to my link tree, and it's right there. Click on that link tree, and then it'll take you right here, and you can go buy one of these t-shirts right here when you do that, and it's the trumpet t-shirt. And then go download the Jubilee Study Guide, Chapter 19. And I can't wait to go, because right there tomorrow is going to be some of this information about the four horses of the apocalypse. And I thought it was sort of odd that these four horsemen, they have these colors, white, red, green, black, and green, and are pale. And green is the sign of death. I guess you turn green. And Jubilees chapter 19 is tonight. That's what we're doing tonight for sure. And I love the fact that when you look into it and you know the stories and you start seeing white, red, black, and green, know that they crossed the Jordan, and crossing the Jordan, Jesus was baptized in the Jordan River. The Jordan River Valley Rift is where all of this is. Jerusalem is right there. I just thought it was really cool that this colors come up in the flag of Jordan. And I know that's a little ironic, but a lot of those countries that are all over in there, those are all the colors of the four horses of the apocalypse. All right, Kate Nicole, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for showing up, Abby. I certainly appreciate all the gifts, and all of y'all for joining me. Oh, that's where it says Jordan right there, man. When we read tomorrow night, when it reads the those that received the white robes, and we were baptized in the river Jordan, and we received our white robes, and every one of us. That's so cool. You got that. I love doing this stuff because it actually does. It sort of makes sense to me. Do you think we're in the 7-year tribulations? In 2,000 years, let me get to a better picture. Let's go to one of those pictures right there. If you know that when Jesus locked away the devil, that he locked away the devil for 2,000 years. The first resurrection and the second death, they speak of 2,000 years, 2 different 1,000-year periods, and the one that's involved with the other is not associated with the next. So they're 2 separate things. It says that right there in Revelations 20. I believe it's verse 5 or 6. But 2,000 years, this is the Jubilee year. We're reading the book of Jubilees. And it's ironic that in the Jubilee year, that it's a period of 50 years. And a time of test is 40. and 40 days and 40 nights, fasted 40 days, it rained 40 days, they wandered the desert 40 years. Saul, David, and Solomon, they all reigned for 40-year periods exactly. So just know it's 40 is a time of test, and it's a test, and we will be 40 Jubilees past the date of crucifixion in 2033 AD. Let's know that. I mean, that Jesus was 33 years old, and he was crucified at 33 years old. So 2,000 years after that is 2033, and aren't we like 7 years away from that? Sort of, yeah. Thank you for your time. I thank you so much, man. And if you don't have one of those T-shirts, get one. We're reading right now. We're getting ready to read out of the Old Testament Apocrypha, the Book of Jubilees. And I'm not reading you something that my Bible didn't turn around and say these books are to be enumerated amongst the holy books of the Bible. And the Book of Jubilees was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it was found as many copies of that as Exodus or Genesis. So just know, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that gift. I certainly appreciate it. And all of y'all that are standing behind me and supporting me, like I said, I'm going on at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and that's why, because y'all are all supporting me, and it just causes me to just work, and build these books. This Acts of Pilate that I built. This whole book is, I don't know, it's 47 pages, and it's every one of the lessons that we learn right here. And the thing I did with this book is, we'll be reading this tomorrow. This is the Acts of Pilate book. And I don't need to turn it around. I just want you to know, just like study guide Bibles and what have you, not only do I have the verses of that, but I've got the study guide portion of it so that you can see what it does and how it has the comparable verses in the Holy Bible. I thought that was very important whenever you're reading one of these New Testament Apocrypha things, that how it literally reiterates the Bible over and over again. Thank you so much, Lisa and Steve McCracken. Good to see you again. And Jillian, yes, I want one. I tell you what, somebody had just texted me and AJ, and that's what I want to send out. My little tribulation, the 7 seals of the tribulation. I want to see if I can send that out to all of my subscribers on my email that's from my link tree. And I think at the top of that link tree, I think that you can, let me see. I think you click the little button, right? Yeah, man, it's like right up there or something when you click on it. Say subscribe or somewhere, and it's right at the top corner. I think it doesn't say it on my page because I own it, but I think you click subscribe right there on my Linktree page, and that'll give me your email. I've got like 1,500 emails, and that are people that have downloaded my work, and I want to send this to you, and I want to be able to send y'all more of a daily, not daily, more of like a weekly type. Hey, this is what we're going to be studying this week. Just a study guide, not a study guide, but more of a speaking of events. And I really do want to try to get out there more and more. So y'all invite me to your hometown, and I sure will come there and speak. And whether I have to do that on Zoom or drive my truck over there. It's not time. Well, it's not time. It is time. It's time. Hey, Mr. Morris, that's the guy with the T-shirts right there, man. That's all you got to do is click on that thing right there, and he will print one of these. He makes them himself, and he is not some big pass distributor. Mr. Morris right there. He makes all of these, prints them himself, and him and his dad, Ron. I love him to death, man. And actually called and talked to them on the phone and just enjoyed having a great FaceTime call with him and his dad. So don't think that I won't do that. I love y'all, and I love talking to y'all. I'll sit there and pray with you all day long. But I get so many emails. If you ever want to reach me, call my son or my wife. And it's going to be a daily inspiration, or it's going to be, my wife is Gigi 8-pack. And that's daily inspiration. That's my son right there. And if you ever want me to reach out to me, get in touch with me, or any of that stuff, AJ's going to run right up to me and go, hey, man, these people are trying to get in touch with you. So I love doing these study guides, though. And in that study guide, the Acts of Pilate, it's the Gospel of Nicodemus. So just know that the gospel of Nicodemus is the dude that helped handle Jesus's body with Joseph of Arimathea, and him and 12 other people witnessed these testimonies, and one of them was Lazarus. So just know, thank you so much. That Bonner Roofing Company, I love those guys. Those people, Bonner Roofing Company, they put the roof on the Orlando International Airport. So cool. They're big, big. Love that company. I love all of y'all. Thank you so much. Let me get to my lesson. That piece was about the two witnesses. All right, down there on my link tree, you can see that. Y'all know, go to my bio page. You're going to download this. This is Study Guide Chapter 19. It's a Jubilee year, and there's 52 weeks in the year. We're doing one, and there's 50 chapters of Jubilees. That's funny because it's the 50th year shall be hallowed, and this is the Jubilee year. So just know, and this is the Jubilee year that we've compiled. This is what we say. The Pope had one, I don't know, like 16, 17 years ago, and then Jesus Christ died in 33 AD, and if you divide that time by 50s, we're not quite in the Jubilee year. But then again, we have no idea what we're doing with the calendar. We study the phases of the moon. And the book of Jubilees, we found out in chapter 7, tells you not to go by the phases of the moon, and that it is the lesser light. And the people that do will go wrong and error in their ways. And they did. They followed the Babylonian calendar. It called them out, and they still studied the moon. We still do it now. But we are supposed to be following a solar calendar, and it's a perfect calendar. It's 364 days, 52 weeks, 7 Sabbaths in that, and the way they spread those weeks out and the way they spread those days out, it puts 4 seasons, and every one of those 4 seasons has a special holiday in it, and it works out perfect. If you would have been born on a Tuesday, your birthday would be on a Tuesday every year of your life. Your birthday is a perfect calendar. But they threw that all away when they went to Babylon and they studied the Babylonian calendar. Thank you so much for reaching out to my wife. I can see right there, hey, Gigi, is you feeling better today? She did feel a little bit better today. She had been bad sick. But I'm glad y'all are my Jubilees crowd, man. Y'all are. And I love, out of all the things that I do, there's some hot topic stuff and hot topic TikTok stuff. But the book of Jubilees, I remember when we read chapter 1 of the book of Jubilees. Man, please. And it just right there, it says, and God called Moses up onto the mountain and said, I will give you the tables of stone and the commandments that you should teach men with. Whack! And ever since I started listening to those words, all the book of Jubilees, I guarantee you somewhere in here it's going to say something about the Sabbath and the seventh day, because that's all it preaches is the Sabbath day, and we should all respect that. AJ laughed at me the other day because I had bought some wine and a big old loaf of bread on Friday before the Sabbath started at 6 o'clock. And Saturday, come up there, and I didn't drink but maybe a little bit of the wine, I promise you that. But I ate like half that loaf of bread, and he was like, man, you eat all this? I was like, it's daily. It's my daily bread. We are family. Y'all are my family. I certainly appreciate that. And y'all feel free to ask them questions, because Gigi walks up and asks me, Kate Nicole, she asks me your questions all day long. And she forwards them to me. And AJ's walked up and had some people ask him questions. And he walks up and he goes, hey, Dad, can you answer this? Yeah. And Gigi's the one that taught me how to answer everything with Scripture. So when I write these books and I do these things that explain these different things that are happening in the world, I always explain them with Scripture. If you've missed any of my work, go to my YouTube page. And you can go right there to my YouTube. It's on my link tree, and all my work is right there. And Arlo, he's right there. And the Book of Jubilees, these podcasts. Even AJ's done a great job at making audio books out of them and cutting the text out. Y'all remember that Abomination of Desolation and all that stuff? And when they ceased the daily sacrifice, that's right there in that Book of Maccabees, man. And it's a great read. It's not that long either. It's a great listen. I do. I like to talk. I love the way AJ has cut all of the stuff off of these talks and is cutting out just a piece of Jubilee so that you can watch this whole thing, which is about 2 hours long, or you can watch just the audio book version of it, and it's me talking for like 20 minutes. And I'm stretching that because literally I take 20 minutes worth of stuff that I could read straight and explain it for hours. I love your YouTube. Thank you, nickname. I used to have a nickname when I worked at the roofing company, man, and they called me Spot because I used to work out and my dad owned the company, and I was the only white boy on the crew, man. They used to call me Spot out there in the middle of all those guys roofing, and they hated me too. They were all convicts. They just hated me to death. They knew my daddy owned the company, and they were purposely mean to me. But then when I owned the company, I just smiled and loved every one of them as much as I could because they were the best guys in the whole wide world. You're only as good as your help, I can tell you that. And AJ and Gigi, they help me all the time, man. They have really turned this thing around, and their inspiration and pushing me, and Gigi just helping me and covering me and protecting me while I do this. Thank you so much, Gigi. I love you for that. She does, man. The world crashing around me. And she stands there with her little skinny self, just like what she does, and she supports me. I am going to get on subject. I promise you. I don't even know what time it is. I promise. I'll get going. What do this one? Is that the first page? It is. Good evening from Alabama. Yeehaw! I tell you what, y'all got it as bad as I do when it comes to talking to us in Kentucky. I just don't even know how we get anything done. But I've lived in Florida for so long, I feel like I've lost all of my accent, and people just laugh whenever I go back. And they say, you sound so country. I said, people in Georgia just think I talk like a city slicker. And they're like, you have lost your accent since you got to Florida. Like going, I don't know, them people in Florida think I'm just walk backwards. Mm-hmm. Florida gang, we're here, man. I love it. I love it. Rains every day. I love it. I love your content. I walked away from the faith in 1997. God bless you. You know what? I'm glad you came back because I sort of did the same thing right around then too. I read the Bible a lot, and I just never really got it, man. I mean, the people weren't, I guess the people weren't telling me the meat that I love. And I love reading the things in the Bible that, you know, I was always taught that there were 2 by 2 the animals on the ark. It was 7 clean animals. 2 were the unclean animals. I always heard that David was too little to bear the armor. David was not too little to bear the armor. Never says that. It's just I like reading it word for word. I like to read it to you, and then I like you to be able to print it out and read it for yourself because that's the way I teach. So that's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to read this first page before AJ walks in here and says, you have to start. So let me do this. This is all about when Sarah died, and she died in Hebron. And understand that Hebron was built before the Great Flood. Hebron, Nineveh, all of these places existed, and they were before the flood. So just know when he went to Nineveh, Nineveh had a front wall, and it was like, I think it was like a mile or so long, the wall of Nineveh. Crazy, crazy what Jonah had to walk up to. But this is about Sarah, and this is in Hebron. That cave is there still. The graves of Sarah and all of this, these graves, they're all here. They're all in Hebron, and it's a big cave, and then they built this building around it, and they also had the well of the oath and all that stuff. It's all right over there by Hebron in the area where Abraham lived. So that's where we're going today, and let's go see what happened when Sarah passed away. And in the first year of the first week, in the 42nd Jubilee, Abraham returned and dwelt opposite Hebron. That is Kirjath Arabah, 2 weeks of years. And in the first year of the 3rd week of this Jubilee, the days of the life of Sarah were accomplished, and she died in Hebron. And Abraham went to mourn over her and bury her, and we tried him. I love that, man. And we tried him. And we tried him to see if his spirit were patient, and if he were not indignant of the words of his mouth. And he was found to be patient in this, and was not disturbed. Man, his wife died after all that, and they had Isaac, and 90 years old and all that stuff, and he wasn't disturbed or sore. For in patience of spirits he conversed with the children of Heth, and in the intent that they should give him a place in which to bury his dead. And Yahweh gave him free unmerited favor before all those who saw him. And he besought in gentleness the sons of Heth, and they gave him the land of the double cave over against Mamre, that is Hebron, for 400 pieces of silver. And they besought him, saying, We shall give it to you for nothing. But he would not take it for their hands from nothing. For he gave them the price of the place, the money in full, and he bowed down before them twice. And after this he buried his dead in the double cave. And in the days of the life of Sarah were 127 years. That is, 2 Jubilees, 4 weeks, and 1 year. These are the days of the life of Sarah. This is the 10th trial wherewith Abraham was tried, and he was found faithful, patient in spirit. And he said not a single word regarding the rumor in the land, how Yahweh had said that he would give it to him and to his seed after him. And he begged a place there to bury his dead. For he was found faithful and was recorded on the heavenly tablets as the friend of Yahweh. What did y'all hear in the middle of that I'm getting ready to go right back to that stuck out that does not happen today? And it's how old was Sarah? Right there in verse 7, man. Right behind my head. She was 127 years old. How about that? 127 years old. And God had said that he would limit the life of man to 120 years. The first recorded person in the Bible that I can find and in the timeline, Moses. Moses died at 120 years old, and does that make him the first man? But he said that he would have man cease the existence at 120 years old. Nobody's pushed that bubble, but all these dudes busted that, man. They were all hundreds, going back right before this. They were hundreds of years old, and now they're 100-ish years old. And when we get to Moses, he's the first one that's documented on the map of time that died at 120 years old. I just think that says something, because when it says right here, oh, man, I didn't take a picture of my study guide. Is that really? Because I always underline mine. And we tried him right there. And we tried him. That's Moses, man. He's one of the angels. You see him appear all over the place, man. Even when the people go to the pearly gates, they saw Moses and Elijah and all. It was like, and the heavenly angels. All right, I'm not going to get too far off subject because it's page 2. And this is actually pretty cool stuff, man. You can just see Jacob and Isaac and all of those dudes. I took a picture of my pages. Now, that makes me mad. I push this one. Let me see if that's it. That's not it. It is not. Yes, it is. All right, you know what? Here's what we got right here. And all these pictures, man, whenever you get my work, the images are so much cleaner and they're on the computer. But these are over 150 years old, and you're more than welcome. Not more than welcome. They're in the public domain. And I only use work that is in the public domain, so you can copy all of these verses, all of these pictures, and print them out and use them in your work. If you're one of my subscribers, please, please, please go download the pictures and all that stuff and use them in your work, man. They're amazing. Those pictures are amazing. All of my books, though, the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, they're in my link tree. You can download the whole book, the Book of Giants, the Melchizedek scroll and all that stuff. Do you think it's possible to find favor with God and body under the subjection to live that long again? Says that I forget which one of the Dead Sea Scroll. I don't read junk, okay? So it was either in a Dead Sea Scroll or something, but it said that we would live 1,000 years. And that seems to be the generations of what what it talks about Adam. They say Adam lived. Hey, Mateo, thank you so much, man, I appreciate that. And they say Adam. They have Georgia Peaches. We were just talking, and they say Adam lived just short of 1,000 years because he sinned on the certain day, and then he lived that many years less because he sinned on that day, and it shorted him that many days of 1,000 years. And I don't know exactly what the number is, but I read that and I was like going, I think that might have been in Jubilees. And just super cool, man. But just know the book of Jubilees, when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in the caves, everybody and their brother sent an archaeologist team because they wanted to find the Ark of the Covenant. They wanted to find all of Solomon's gold. They wanted to find all this hidden stuff. And all they found was a bunch of books of the Bible that read just like the books of the Bible. The only thing they didn't recognize was that somebody had pulled the book of Jubilees and the book of Enoch 1 out of circulation. And when it started to... they confirmed that the books and the fragments and the scrolls, they were all over 2,000 years old. They've been in that cave since BC, before Christ. And they validated all of these rolls. And they validated that, yeah, man, they all read exactly like the Bible that you're reading today. When you read Genesis and when you read Exodus, when you read all the books that were in there, they read just like this. They don't read any different. So the book of Jubilees is an unedited, untouched scroll from the Dead Sea Scrolls. They found 18 copies of that, and like 18 copies of Genesis, and it was like 13 copies of Exodus and 14 copies of Enoch. They were all right there in the same. Those were the four big books. The beginning, the end. That's Genesis and Exodus. The beginning and the end. The book of Jubilees, which is the Word of God. It says that right there in the first paragraph. And, of course, those books mention the Ten Commandments, the words of God, the ones that God wrote, the fiery finger of God. So I love reading the words in red that is Jesus Christ, and I also love reading, which Jesus is God, and I also love reading God's Word. And people say, well, why do you say Jesus is God? Because Jesus told the devil, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Bang. So that happened. And that's who he is. You know, he was the first among the dead. And when you start reading Revelations, I think it's cool to read Revelation. And when you go, and I say Revelations because I'm from Georgia and I can put an S on anything I want to except shrimps. Hang on. Revelations has got all kinds of red letters in it. And you're just like going, man, that was written in like 90 AD by John while he was on Patmos. And Jesus had been done gone. Okay, so how are all these letters in red? And these are the words of Jesus, man. They're right there. The first chapter, and here's the biggest thing. They're in the last chapter, too. All of this. I'll show you. There's Revelation right there. Oh, that's red. Dang, dang, dang. That's Jesus talking right there in the last book of the Bible. But here's the last chapter, man. JC, look at him right here. You see those red letters? That's the last book of the Bible right there. That's who talks. That's Jesus talking through the ages. Just know that. Except shrimps. I know. I saw a sign in Savannah, Georgia, and it had an S on the end of shrimps. I had to look at it for the rest of my life. Yeshua. You know what? Dad Bod, I love that everybody has their word. You see Yahweh written in some of these. You see, I don't see Yeshua. I see Yahweh written in the book of Jubilees a lot. And I was told to always say the name Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And I remember this guy, his name was Dewey, and he was from India. And he was a converted Muslim. He was like 75 years old. And man, Jill's father would be preaching, and this dude, he would get the Holy Ghost, man. and he would just, it scared the bejesus out of me. And Dewey, I'll never forget, he came in, you only say Jesus Christ of Nazareth. His name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And he was like drilling that in my head, man. I was like, oh, okay. And he's a little guy. And I just loved him to death. But then in John 19:19, it just says, his name was Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and he wrote it in 3 different languages. And I just like the fact that Jesus means something, like Son of God or of God, from God, and that's what it means. It's like Greg means messenger, and I would be like the messenger from Orlando in this case, or the messenger from Savannah that moved to Orlando. And that would be Greg of Savannah. So it was like Jesus of Nazareth. He was the Son of God from Nazareth. Because there was a bunch of people going, hey, man, I'm Jesus. No, I'm Jesus. And he was like going, well, did sort of pick that lame and blind dude up right there, help those people out. That dude was dead a little while ago. He's back to life, and you're not pulling those tricks off. So I just love Jesus Christ of Nazareth. That's what I say, but you can say anything that you want to. This is him talking to you. I read 19:19, John 19:19. Thank you so much. I'll send it to me, and I'll get it to him. Okay, Dadbot, send it there. You send it to him. And I certainly appreciate that, because I can handle stuff like that. And I don't know what it was you're going to send him, but I read scriptures out of the Holy Bible, and the translations that I've been given of the Holy Bible, that's what I go by. And there's some people go, I read the interlineal, and it's how they talk over there. And I'm like going, well, how they talk in Croatia? I got a Croatian Bible, and it says Mato, Marco, Luco, and Ivan. I'm like going, okay, whatever. And I guess Ivan means, son of God. And but the Croatian Bible is Mato, Marco, Luco, and Ivan. I was just like going, okay, that's so much for that J. Sound over there. That's all your Najayers. Najayers. That's what I'm going to call you fellas that said there was no J invented. The Najayers. Just know that the I had a mark above it to pronounce the vowel sound Y, and it had a mark below it to make the EU sound, so like Yuda. And that was the mark underneath the I made the EU sound. So these are all vowels. I was a vowel. The mark above it was a Y, and it made the Y sound, and the mark below it made the EU sound, Yuda. And so there was a lot of things over there, like the Jordan River and Jerusalem and Geronimo, whatever, and Geronimo, that's a G. But nonetheless, man, it was big letter over there, and they just really didn't know how to say it good, so they made this J, and they did that. But it's you, it's EU, know that. As a fellow man and a father. I'm a fellow man and a father. I'm a father. We have 8 people in our immediate family, and all of them have little puppies, and then we have lots and lots of people, and I love my grandchildren more than anything, and they love Granddaddy's voice. So let Granddaddy, and they might listen to it. That's why I want to do a children's book, man, because those people, if you're just joining me, go to my bio page and download the study guide right there. You're going to go to that, off of that link tree on my bio page right there, and then right there, go there and buy a t-shirt from Mr. Morris. He's on here. And then he's going to make it and press it, a series. And then you download the study guide right there. And it is going to be D-Swan, and we are on that page right there. So I want you to read this for yourself as I read along, so that I really like it when you can print things out, if you do, and you can put these all together and it'll make a nice book of Jubilees. I actually am doing that right now. These are all 50 of the chapters of the book of Jubilees. It's about an inch thick, but it has all the pictures and captions, and what I'm doing is making more of a study guide Bible out of that, where I can put my comments, and it'll be a trumpet book. I don't know. How thick is that? It's 100 pages or so, front and back, man. It's a meat. There's some meat in that one right there. But I want y'all to have the commentary that goes with it, because I like to turn around and go, this isn't just somebody's natural writing. This literally reiterates the verses out of the Bible so hard. It's not even funny. And you run out of space just going, well, they say that in Genesis here, and they say that in Genesis. So all of this stuff right that we're reading in Jubilees right now, this is the story right out of Genesis about Isaac and her favorite son Rebekah, and Keturah, his other brides, and how Abraham loved him more and all that stuff. So that's what we got. 10. I'm going to start reading that right there. I thought we were talking about the seals of the apocalypse. I am going to talk about the seals right after I get finished reading this. And if you can just bear with me for a little bit, I don't mind doing that, because I did that work today. I plan on releasing all that information tomorrow. But I did these seals right here, man. And they are the 7 seals. And we're actually talking about Abraham right here, and he was the third seal. There was a great famine in Egypt, and he was the black horse with the great famine in Egypt, and he fought off all the crows and all that stuff. And when you sequence it down and you realize there's 1,000 years per seal, and then you start knowing that he cracked the first one right there, that's the 7th day right there, the 6,000th year, man. That's going to start the 7th day, and that's just literally when there's a silence in heaven, and then the trumpets start blowing, and ye double haw, man. We're all the tribes of earth will mourn. Says that right there in Matthew 24. All the tribes of earth will mourn. But the white horse with the crown and the bow, that's a rainbow that man was given to know that God would never flood the earth again. And Adam was told to go out and not conquer the earth, but to spread over the earth and take and spread and multiply. And then 1,000 years later, the red horse of war, that's the Watchers, man. They came down with their sword, and they made their swords, and they showed man how to make swords. And we just read in Enoch last night that God said, y'all have sinned, you'll never be pardoned, and I'm going to teach your children how to go to war against each other, and you're going to watch all your children die right there. I want to read along, please. Where are you reading from? This right here will be on the study guide tomorrow. This is my class tomorrow. We are doing... Tomorrow is Thursday night, and we're doing the Acts of Pilate. This is right in there. And included in that, I'm going to start doing this. I'm doing that tomorrow. But I told everybody I just wanted to give them a piece of this thing, because I literally... this hit me a couple of days ago when I was reading the 5th seal. And we were in that, and the 5th seal is when Jesus went into the ground and locked the devil away for 1,000 years. He's the white robe guy. Every time you see white robes, that's JC, man. And it's right there. The white robes, Jesus Christ, right there. And he's the 5th seal. And those that were beheaded for the witness of man, he let them out. And then in that book of Acts of Pilate, it says this right here. You're going to trip out on this. Go right here. We'll read it tomorrow, and it is right there. And this talks about they received white robes. This is the Acts of the Gospel of Nicodemus, the Acts of Pilate. There's 2 different titles to go for. Do you record these live? Yes, I sure do, and they're on my YouTube page. But we are working, I think we're on chapter 4. We're coming to this right here, and it says, and we were baptized in the holy river of the Jordan and received white robes, every one of us. Yeah, Gigi 8-pack, I love that. So awesome, man. She's so awesome. She keeps me in the top, and I certainly appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate everything she does. But they were baptized into Jordan. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Here's a little... freakish thing right here. We know that the 7 seals of the apocalypse are these color horses. The first 4 are horses: white horse, red horse, black horse, pale horse, which is green. And then they just said that they were given white robes. And it says that they were given white robes. It says that in the scripture, I believe it's right. This one? Yeah. I saw heaven opened up, and the white horse, flames and crown. That's the white horse and the crown. Hang on, where's the one with the robes? Nope. That's the one that tells you where Abraham, we're right here, and 2000 BC, Abraham, severe flood and famine in Egypt, right there. And the 2 measures of wheat for a penny and saved the oil and all that stuff. That's famine in Egypt right there. 2000 BC. So go touch this button and touch this button. 2000 BC, Abraham, third seal, black horse. You know, he chased off a bunch of crows, is how he got his name. He chased off the crows from eating the seeds off the top of the ground. We read that a couple of chapters ago, too. Y'all remember that? He ate the crows were eating the seeds, and he chased them off like 70 times in one day, and they gave him his name based off of that. So that's Abraham right there. So remember, that's Jesus Christ. 1,000 years later, that's the Watchers, the Red Seal. They made all the war and swords. And then Abraham, that's the great famine of Egypt right there. And then David, he just full of death. He actually numbered Israel. The angel came down and started slaughtering Israel. He goes, no, don't do that. And then his hands were just too bloody to even build a temple. So he was death. And it actually says halfway through his life, and I think it's in Samuel or something, and it says these are the last words of David. Go look that up. These are the last words of David. Dude's like not dead yet. Years and years. And then right after that it said, and he got no heat. Dude was cold. And it's right after he got in a fight with a dude that was Goliath's brother that ended up getting a new sword. He goes, and he got a new sword. Dude, he got that sword because David come up there swinging Goliath's sword. He got that in the temple 2 chapters before when he went to go get the bread out of the temple. And he goes, man, I ain't got no weapons, man. You got a sword? And he's like, yeah, I got one. And David was like, there is no other like it. I certainly appreciate all those gifts. Let's try to set a record and y'all punch all these things. Oh, I got something for y'all. Hang on before I read anything else. I'm giving this away when I get finished reading this Bible. This is the coolest Bible. This is the biggest, baddest Bible that I got. I want you to know that you can open this thing. This is the one. This is a Dory Bible. All my sketches and all that stuff. I have the Dory books, but this is a Dory Bible, and it is off the chain. It has. These are the list of illustrations of Dory. How many it has in it? It's a ton. This page. These are all drawings that are in this Bible right here. Every time you turn a page in this Bible is going to be one of the pictures of Dory. Let's look at these things, man. We're reading about that right there, man. Right there. Almost every time you pick it up and turn it. If you want a Bible that's full of pictures, this one's so cool, and I saw it, and I don't want to, be some big auctioneer or something like that, man. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take the top gifters and put their name in a hat and pull them out. And AJ will probably give away a couple of those other ones. But I wanted to give this Bible away because it sits on my shelf, and I don't use this. This is my personal Bible. I don't think I wrote my name in it. I didn't. I'll give this to you. I'm going to give this to somebody. This is too good to sit on my shelf. And what do I got it tabbed at? Let's see where I got. Nehemiah viewing the ruins and the walls of Jerusalem right there. The pictures that are in here are off the chain. This is the coolest Bible. And all these pictures are in the public domain. Man, this guy lived like in the 1600s or something. So, Mr. Morris, just know that you can take your phone and take a picture of that, crop it down, and use it right there in your work. And it's some of the best things. We're getting copyright infringements. You're going to start seeing that on TikTok. So just know that you want to use work that's in the public domain. That's why all of my work, all of my study guides, all of my pictures are public domain stuff, and I own them, and I give you permission to use them. And but that's the only kind of stuff I'm going to use. I'm going to leave this right here because I'm going to pull it back up in a little bit. We're going to read another page. I'm going to show you that thing. AJ is going to give that away. But I certainly appreciate all y'all. And I just did not want that. And I have a couple of more over there too. And like next week, man, I've got some Bibles that are really cool. And I just don't use them. And I have people that I think would rather have those Bibles than me. When I saw how cool those pictures were, I bought all of Dory's work. 2 big old books, man. They're like that thick. I've got a thing. Gigi successfully. No, AJ's the one that gave me the upper respiratory thing. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can't read this before I go AWOL. And thank you for bearing with me. I certainly appreciate it. What am I reading? I'm reading that one right there. Number 10. All right, are we still on track? Where can we get one? What do you want? What did I do? Oh, this Bible? This Bible's in my link tree. If you go to my link tree, then go to my Amazon page. On my Amazon page, it's way down there. It's the Dory Bible. It's a King James Version Bible, and it says in the front of it, Dory something. This is one of the first books. When I bought this, I opened it up and saw all the pictures in it. I was like, okay, I want to buy all that guy's artwork. And that Bible's cool, but the artwork was a much cheaper purchase. It was an expensive Bible. How can we get the Bible that has the Apocrypha you read from? The Bible that gets the Apocrypha that I read from, I make those Bibles. And they're like 6 inches thick. You can go to my website. On my link tree is my website, and I make those Bibles. They're like $500, but they're all parchment paper. And I got one right here. I got one right here. There's the glue. I was just gluing that up. I glued my other work. And then I had to have some of the pictures. This is Mr. Morris's Bible. I'm going to end up putting this together. That right there. Mr. Morris has got that coming to him. I got Randy's Bible right here. That's her brand new piece of leather. And then hers just came off of the printer, and it's in glue up. So I'm enjoying that. We'll be able to print these right out. But I sell them on my website, man. And that helps support me so much. I certainly do appreciate all of that. And one thing that I like about that Bible, I think I took some pictures of it. Let me show you something that's in it. It's the Maccabees. And it does have the Apocrypha in it. It has, has the Old Testament Apocrypha in it. It has all the book of Maccabees in it, and then it does not have in it the book of Jubilees or the book of Enoch. That was never put in a Bible. This is a Catholic version of a Bible. It does not include those two, but it includes all the other Apocrypha, the Maccabees and all that stuff. And it tells all about the Abomination of Desolation. I've got those words right here. This tells about... I got these pictures, man. And y'all, here's when they ceased the daily sacrifice in 168, right there. That's why they ceased the daily sacrifice. This dude named Antiochus, he comes into town right here in about 170, and he does this to all of those people, and he takes over Jerusalem. And then Junior walks out there, and he puts some pigs, some swine flesh on the altar of God. Then where does it say Antiochus, that dude right there. And then... It says King Antiochus put the Abomination of Desolation on the altar of God. Then they cut up all the books. This is where Jubilees got lost. Then they cut up all the books and all the people that were holding the books. I'm sorry. When I get over there, my glasses sort of flash and what have you. But they cut up all the people that hold the books. That's in chapter 1 of the first book of Maccabees. And it tells about Alexander the Great. That's verse 50. Alexander the Great is literally one of the first things that it says. And he came out of Persia, and it calls him Alexander, and it tells that his generals took over, and those are the ones that the Maccabees were fighting with. And then the Romans came to town and put the squash daddy donk down on those guys, man. And they just... they made them look bad. And then they changed the whole name of the place to Palestina. And they did that just to make all the people mad because it was the Philistines used to own that place and run that place. So they named it Palestina just to make the locals mad. And that sort of stuck, I guess, for a while. But somebody had a comment on one of my ticks, and they said, "What do you think about Israel?" and something like that. I was like, going, Israel is a dude. Israel is Jacob. But I think like the Rothschilds or somebody decided right after the Second World War that they wanted to go over there and put a flag up and call that land that. And but it was Israel means struggles with God. I actually could have picked a lot better names for anything because I don't want somebody to think that I struggle with God at all. And I would hate to have a name like Israel that says you struggle with God. No, my name's Greg, man. I'm all like good with it. I'm the trumpet. I would think that they would name it something like Gregville or something. It would be much better. But I'm not pro or against or any of that stuff. All of those places, all of that is called Canaan. It was where Canaanites came from, and it's Canaan. Just know that when Noah got off the ark and Ham, and he said, "You take you and your little rotten son and all that stuff and get," and they were headed down to Africa, man, in Canaan. He was like, "Going, dude, man, you see the pomegranates over there? I'm totally going to stay here." And all of his brothers were going, "Dude, you can't do that. You can't stay here. It'll be cursed." And we read that right there, and you can read that in any of the books. And it says that that place became cursed from there on out, and it was called Canaan. And that's where Moses got to see the promised land and all was Canaan. And they were supposed to go take it back over. But thank you so much for putting up with me. I certainly appreciate having 200 people in the room. I am going to just burn chapter 10 through verse 10 through verse 17 in just 1 second. I'm going to read so fast. Oh, that was the Maccabees, and I told you that. And that daily sacrifice ended right there, and that's Jesus right there. So it was like 120 years before they ended the daily sacrifice. And I showed it last night. I don't know if you can see it. Those dudes changed Jerusalem around. Let me show you what they did. I got these pictures right here. This is Jerusalem that you see today. There's the temple, okay? There's the temple. There's the palace of Herod, and there's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, all right? And this is what it used to look like. There's the temple. There's the tomb of David, and then there's Herod's palace. Know that after the Romans took over, that they built the temple of Venus right there, which David's grave was there. Then the temple of Venus was there. And now in 300 something, Constantine came in and built the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and said, "This is where Christ is." And like, going, make up your mind, man. This isn't when the music stops, that's your grave. So his mama did all that stuff too. But just know that David's tomb is where I'm going to get my head. Church of the Holy Sepulchre, temple, David's palace, the palace of Herod, David's towers, palace, the temple, the tomb of David, Golgotha's right there. Golgotha right outside of the city. And then Daryl, the Romans, they came in and made a bunch of modifications to that, and then they built the Temple of Venus right there over the tomb of David. And I think David, when he moved that stuff around, I'm not sure what he did with the bones of that. Probably at the Vatican, because he built the Vatican. What's the picture in the Bible called? It is you know what? That's a good question. I want to say it's the Dory Bible. It's in my YouTube. It's in my not my YouTube. It's in my link tree. So just know that is in my link tree. I think this is actually called the Dory Bible. Let me see. Barnes and Noble. Holy Bible. It just says Holy Bible, King James Version. I know that it's on my link tree in my bio page. It's if you look for Dory Sketch Bible, I'm going to have to pull that thing up. And it's about 3 inches tall, too. It is a piece of meat. And it's literally because it's full of pictures. The back of it's cool, too, man. It's a great Bible. There's no way that this... Like, there's Revelation, man. Look at that. That's so cool. Babylon, fallen. But that's Hades. That was in Revelation, the book of Revelation right there. I'm going to give that Bible away in a minute. Hold on, not a minute. Go to the page, read page 10, Greg. This one, not that one. Stop it. This one. I will. AJ's going to come running in here. Focus. And the fourth, did I do this? No, this is it. All right. And in the 4th year thereof, he took a wife for his son Isaac, and her name was Rebekah. In 2020, after man was invented, the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Nahor, and the brother of Abraham, the sister of Laban, and the daughter of Bethuel. And Bethuel was the son of Milcah, who was the wife of Nahor and the brother of Abraham. That sounds so much like something from Georgia. I just really read that today, and I was like going, brothers from sister and all that stuff. But it's just, it's sort of confusing to read that. I'm so sorry. Keep going. And Abraham took to himself a third wife, and her name was Keturah, and among the daughters of his household servants. For Hagar had died before Sarah, and she bare him 6 sons, Amram, Zochaz, Median, and Ishbak, and Shua, in the 2 weeks of years. And in the 6th week of the 2nd year thereof, Rebekah bare to Isaac 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. Jacob was a smooth and upright man, and Esau was a fierce man of the field and hairy. Jacob dwelled in tents. And the youth grew, and Jacob learned to write. But Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter, and he learnt war, and all the deeds were fierce. And Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called to Rebekah and gave commandment regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said to her, My daughter, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall be in my stead on the earth, and for the blessing in the midst of the children of men, and for the splendor of the whole seed of Shem. That's right behind my own. I wish I had mine, because I highlight a bunch of stuff in here, and I'm sorry that I screenshot those. So, if there's anybody got any questions about this reads so much like the book of Genesis. The book of Jubilees is the book of Genesis. It's called the Little Genesis. And I want to take a minute before we change pages. It's called the Little Genesis, but I can't imagine anybody in my classes that says that this is a lesser Genesis. This is so much more information, all very valid, all great information, and I've not seen anything with it and wrong with it. So is tomorrow the big Bible giveaway? No, I'm going to give this one. I'm going to give this one away when we get finished tonight. I am in between pages. I'll show you to again. I'm just going to give this thing away. If I was to throw this at you, it's going to take you out, because it's that big. And I mean, if you open this thing, it's nothing but just the best scriptures in the world and the best pictures in the world. So I love that. But this Bible is so, and when it begins the chapters, that's what I like. Ooh, Isaiah's vision of the destruction of Babylon. Right there. Right there. That's what Isaiah visioned. Dory sketched all kinds of stuff. You know what? I got some big Dory books. It probably doesn't have all of these. But I'm going to tell you something. This is a cool book. I love books with pictures. That's why I put pictures in all my study guides. And I like pictures to tell the story. I like to be able to use them. So just know that all of my work is the Bible or the Dead Sea Scrolls. It's all over 150 years old. And all of my pictures are sketches from over 150 years old. So you can use them in all your work. And that is a cool Bible. I mean, and it's been sitting on my shelf right there for like ever. And it's just sitting there. And I'm sitting there going, man, I've got the Dory books. I'm building the book of Jubilees. My book of Jubilees is, if you think I didn't open that Dory book and copy every one of these sketches, my Bible, I knew how to make the Word of God, man. Mine's full of pictures. I would say almost. You know what? That's the last couple of chapters right there. These are all our study guides right here. That's super cool. So that is the Dory Bible, and it's got all kinds of gold and stuff. I know y'all can see that on there. Thank you so much. We're going to take all our biggest gifters and put them in a hat. And AJ, I see you in there. You're not allowed to win. You can't have that. He comes through here and flips through my Bibles and stuff. But I've got some cool things. I'd rather them not sit on my shelf. I'd rather them sit on yours. Don't sit on yours. And you are doing your own book as well? Yeah, absolutely. I printed the Dead Sea Scrolls. Turn it around so you can see it. I printed the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Book of Jubilees. This is about this thick. I've only done like the first half of it. And then these are all just nothing but text. And all size 12 font, and then I'm putting it into a book that's just full of pictures. That is the Book of Jubilees that I'm making. Let me show you two other books I'm making. The Acts of Pilate, what we're reading tomorrow. This is the book, 47 pages that I made. This is the Acts of Pilate. And this, again, is nothing but the New Testament Apocrypha. If there's pretty much a picture on every page that is a Dory sketch. And I literally just use these to tell the stories and the pictures. But this is the Acts of Pilate, and I am going to be releasing this so that I can sell it. I will put that with this book. And this is, I'll put a hardcover on it and all like that one. But this is all the seals and all the information about the seals of the apocalypse that I had done. And those are all just cool things. I like making those books. I glue them all up myself. I print them all out. And I try to print most things on parchment paper or put parchment covers on them and all that stuff because they last forever. And how do we glue it ourselves? I tell you what. Go get you something as stupid as this right here. This is about $7 little book binder. And you put the book in there just like this. Stack the pages together. Put it in there. This is super easy. I take all my study guides and do the same thing. And get it right there and then clamp it down. And then once it's clamped down, this PVA is just neutral. It looks like Elmer's glue, man. This I've had for a year, and I've only used half of it. And this is PVA neutral. It doesn't stain the paper. And literally, you can just take it and put a bead right across there and rub it in with your finger, wipe it off with your finger with a paper towel, and just sit there and just rub it in, and it'll bind that book. And when they're big and thick, then you can put a piece of cheesecloth in it, and it'll add a fiber reinforcement, and you've bound a book. That's what basically a couple of my students are doing right now. And these are the last 18 study guides of Jubilees. And I'll bind them. So basically all the study guides, I think you should bind them. And if you go on my link tree, they're right there. You can go on my link tree and they are right there. I love that. Thank you so much for tuning in. And did I read my page 10? I sure did. Somebody commanded him and said he loved him too. Let me put some people. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all start me down all these. Y'all dig those rabbit holes. Y'all cut in about 6 inches of the rabbit hole and go, well, what do you think? I'm like going, thank you. I'll take the shovel now. I dig it. Picasso. Y'all like Picasso? I don't like his stuff. I have 4 of these Picassos. My dad gave them to me when I was in art school. Anybody wants to buy them, you let me know. They're all signed, sealed, and numbered. I got 4 of them. They are signed by the Picasso Museum. Those are cool. They're not that expensive. I'm not a big cubist guy. I like my other art that I have. I have a Chagall on the back wall back there, and it's David. It's of John the Baptist being beheaded. But of course, the artist hit it so well that you can't see that. I'm going to read this one right there. change my page. Thank you so much for all of y'all being in this room and sticking with me. We are reading the book of Jubilees. It's a Jubilee year. Go download the study guide right there off of my bio page. If you missed any of the stuff, they're on my YouTube. You can go to my YouTube page, go to my bio page, go to my link tree, go to my YouTube, and all 18, I believe 18 versions are on there. And then AJ's actually starting to cut all the where I talk so much in between and just having the read it portion of it. And that's why I try to sort of read uninterrupted on a page, so it saves him the editing. I run my mouth in between. But y'all keep in mind that at the end of this thing, I'll probably ask some of those real hard Bible questions, and I'm going to let AJ give this big Bible away. So y'all put your name in the hat for that. Go. I'm going to read verse 18 right there at the top of the page. For I know that Yahweh will choose him. There's a Yahweh word right there. I told you it comes in. I don't see Yeshua that much. For I know that Yahweh will choose him to be a people for his possession unto himself, above all peoples that are upon the face of the earth. And behold, Isaac, my son, loves Esau more than Jacob. But I see that you truly love Jacob. And still further to your kindness to him, and let your eyes be upon him in love, for he shall be a blessing unto this earth for the henceforth and to all generations of the earth. Let your hands be strong, and let your heart rejoice in your son Jacob, for I have loved him so far beyond all my sons. He shall be blessed forever, and his seed shall fill the whole earth. If a man can number the sands of the earth, his seed also shall be numbered. And all the blessings wherewith Yahweh, that's why David messed up so bad. You start numbering things like that, it says don't do that. And all the blessings wherewith Yahweh has blessed me, and my seed shall belong to Jacob and his seed always. And in his seed shall my name be blessed, and the name of my fathers Shem, and Noah, and Enoch, and Mahaliah, and Enos, and Seth, and Adam. So those are all his fathers right there. And you can see in the picture, that's when he gave the blessing to Jacob. And look at Mama, man. She's looking out the door going, oh, Esau, there's an Easter egg over there. And what I think is funny, though, man, this dude had to put like goat hair on and all that stuff to pull off to look like his brother. I'm like, bro, what do you look like, man? Bah, little goat guy. I don't know. I think it means red or something like that. I got one more page, and then I can do this. Let me do just a little bit of stuff in between here. Some of y'all joined in because tomorrow morning I am going to take all of this. These are the 7 seals of the apocalypse, and I put together a piece of work that shows the 7 seals of the apocalypse, the 4 riders of the 4 horses. Just know that that's the first seal of Adam, and how he was to spread out, and man was given a bow. And the white horse with the crown, that's Jesus Christ, and that's God, which is the creation and the start of it. That was the first seal. The second seal, which is 1,000 days. A day is like 1,000 years. And the second seal, we're all looking for the 7th day, by the way. That's what the 7th seal is the 7th day, the day of rest. And the 7th seal is only the beginning of the trumpet. So when the third of the ground gets burned up and all of these things start to go into hell in a handbasket without lack of expression, that's what's going to happen, man. It's at the 7th seal. There's rest for about an hour in heaven, and then they start blowing the trumpets and double D hog right there. It's going to get bad. But there's Adam. Then the Watchers came down in 1000 BC. In 3000 BC, but 1,000 years later. And that's the second seal, the red horse of war, where they made the swords and they caused their sons to fight and create war. And they learned and taught men war. And then in the third seal, that's Abraham, where he fought that's where the scales and the balances are. And Abraham came out of Egypt where they were having the great famine and what have you. And he also chased the crows away, which pulled the seeds off of the ground. And that's how Abraham got his name. So he was the black horse. And these aren't necessarily bad things. Now, David, he's a piece of work. And he's the pale horse of death. His hands were so bloody that he couldn't even build the temple. And hell followed with him, which means Solomon, 6 and 1, half dozen. Then Solomon is the one that built the temple on Mount Moriah, the mountain of sacrifice, built his own palace up on top of Mount Zion. And it's the same place that Jesus Christ walked in and said, tear all of this down. The temple is right here. And that happened. And then Jesus went right there below the altar and received the white robes when he opened the prisons of hell and released the saints. And in Matthew 27:52, and the rocks did rent and the graves opened and the bodies of many saints which slept arose and walked through the city streets of Jerusalem. And then on the next page of, they turn around and say, the Acts of Pilate, what we're going to read tomorrow. This is why this plays so good tomorrow. I just had to give it to you today because I put so much work in those books. Easy to throw some of the stuff up there. But that's the little season of Satan. And then 1,000 years later, after he bound the devil for 1,000 years, he must be loosed a little season. And it's right there that he's loosed for that little season. And that's exactly 1033. There was a huge earthquake, and the Crusades started, and the martyrdom of Christians, where just a persecution of Christians went rampant. And you can take that map of time and see all the little red crosses right after 1033 AD. So it literally lines that right up. Just know when they blow that one right there, that seventh seal, when they crack that seventh seal, then they're going to start doing the trumpets. And then you're going to have a bad day, and all the tribes of earth shall mourn. I don't want you to tell me I'm in the grandma group and I'm going to be taken up. It doesn't say that. If you're on this earth and you're one of the tribes, and it double dog says all the tribes of earth shall mourn. So get knowing that you're going to see this. And when they start doing that stuff, you'll see it. And if it's 1033, we're about 7-8 years away from 2033. And it says that the first resurrection is 1,000 years, and that the second death is 1,000 years. And it says those affected by the first resurrection are not affected by the second death. No, it's a 2,000-year period. A Jubilee year is the 50th year. Hallow it and make the 50th year. That's in Leviticus. And if 2,000 years, 40 is a bad thing. So 40 is 40 days and 40 nights, 40 days in the desert, 40 years in the desert. All the things that are bad are 40. And we will be, in 2,000 years, is 40 50-year periods. So we will be on the 40th Jubilee on 2033. 7-8 years from now. Come here, Bando. Bando. I love my dad. Come in, you gonna work with me today? Huh, will you? Because Daddy loves Arlo. Daddy do love Arlo. Don't jump off. Don't run away. Oh, that's good. All right, let me get this. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to read this last page right here. Go to push this button. It's this one. Right? Yeah, 25. Arlo, he come in. He's just for a minute. Morn will be scary. Should we be worried? Yeah. Yeah. People tell you that once you've gained grace, you can't never lose it. I don't know about that. Well, everybody's going to see the days, and the tribes of the earth will mourn, and it's going to probably terrify people. But I do know that it says in the book of Revelation right here, it says, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And if you read the book of Gad, which it tells you to read the book of Gad if you find out all about David. And it tells you about the 3 books, because it says the books with an S were opened, and another book was opened. That's Revelation 20, verse 12. And the books, there's 3 books. And the first book is the people that have the without sin, and they're literally just taken right up. So just know there is the grandma group. They're the first ones. Then the second book is read, and he says, these are the ones that committed the unintentional sins of the Lord. And you go park them over there for, I think it's like half a month. And then he tells Satan to go destroy all the other people, and they drag them over to a lake of fire and destroy them there. So if you're in the grandma group, you got vacuumed up into heaven. And the second book, if you're over here, you get to watch, man, I didn't make the first bus, and dude over there is on fire. So I guarantee you, if you're in the second book with the unintentional sins, which I got a ton of them, guarantee you, got a ton of them, I would have to say that you're probably going to get to see what happens to the third group so that you can make a decision and go, no, man, I'm in, bro. I'm in. And that's what I think is going to happen. So I think when you watch that group go down, you'll probably be going, all right. And I pray every morning that I'm alive when Jesus Christ returns, and that I am found working in him. So y'all take my work, copy it, print it out, take it to your church or whatever you want to do, spread it out, tell somebody these cool stories, and you might just be found working in him as you relay these stories and tell these cool facts about the Bible, because that's working in him. Apologize about that. I'm going to read this 5th thing. My biggest gifters, I certainly appreciate that. We're getting ready to have that. It's not like a raffle. He's going to draw the names out of the biggest gifters, and this big old Bible is going to come right into play. I'm going to read this last thing for you because I got so much more to do. This is just such a great night, and I certainly appreciate it. Right there at the top. Do I got any questions? No. Don't be afraid. You're protected by God. I wouldn't. Savannah, you know what? I'm from Savannah, and I would not be afraid. However, it does say all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and I wouldn't be afraid, and I'm not afraid, because I know in my heart that I've made the right decision. If I don't get vacuumed up, I will fight for the Lord every day, and I will continue to praise him. I guarantee you, me too. If I don't get vacuumed up to that, you'll be put in that second group. And hopefully you don't get put in that third book, because those dudes don't even get a chance, man. They're taken right off and destroyed. And I think the second group gets to go, whoa, that's going to hurt. So I guarantee you. Rassel, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. There's a little Arlo. He ran off. How do I sign up for your page? You can go become a subscriber of mine right there by clicking on it and hit subscribe. And I certainly appreciate that. That supports me. It'll give you an unlock code, and you can unlock some of my works, which are those old books of those old pictures of the Bible. And I have a bunch of those on here. I think I took some pictures of it. These are all the pictures that I put on there. Those are all, if you're a subscriber, those are all loaded right there. All of those pictures. They're cool, man. This is like, these pictures are 100-something years old. They are in the public domain, and they are free for you to use. You can use them. These are Cleopatra's Needle in Central Park. One of these is the altar on Mount Sinai. I think it's like that one right there. I mean, like where Moses slammed down the 10 Commandments. That rock right there. Why isn't that place like Disney World, man? I mean, I don't get it. Oh, and before I forget, go buy a shirt that costs $18. That's almost like that Cool Fandy TikTok stuff right there. That right there. Go get one of those. Real cool. Says, but when I see the sword fall upon the land, I blow the trumpet and warn the people. Ooh, that's that picture. Those little stickers of John the Baptist. I just saw that pop up. Thank you so much. And those little pictures of John the Baptist. You see that thing where it's the head and all that stuff? Oh, such good artwork. I love stuff like that, man. I'm sorry. And nobody's ever depicted that art. And I'm sorry. It's right here. I can show you. It's on my wall. Can you see it? Can you see it right there? There's a girl dancing. Oh, you know what? See if you can see that. There's the girl dancing with her leg up in the air. Right there. There is her mother looking down at her with satisfaction. There's Herod right there judging the whole thing with the horns on his head. And there's the head of John the Baptist right there on the ground. And in the words, it says different shadings and different characters. But right above John the Baptist's head, it says, just a little chop. And it's written in French. And y'all come by that. That's a Chagall. That's a cool picture right there. That was signed by the artist Chagall. I have 2 of his works. He was a Jewish artist, and he painted to escape the persecution of Europe, and he used his paintings to paint that. But when I found out that he was a Jewish artist, and I started reading all of his stuff, and I not reading his stuff, started studying his art, and a lot of religious-oriented stuff in his art. Read this last page. Thank you so much. Free freight if you buy 1 or more. Then, hey, Mr. Morris, all right, man, that's cool. Because you got a blue one. You got 2 different styles of this, Mr. Morris. And it's this one. This one is the front, and then this one. And this is cool, man. People, every time I wear a Yahweh shirt, or this, you can't say this word. This is a breath. That's why people say Yahweh, because it's, just know it's the breath of life. That's how you say the name of God. You were never supposed to be able to pronounce this word right here. You were never supposed to be able to pronounce that. You were supposed to just pause and go, I don't even know how to say that. Because you're not cool enough to say the word of God. But we had to spell it out because we're stupid. And we had to, I got to call you Bill or something, man. I just can't breathe. So you just need to know that that's the noise you make when you inhale. And that's the noise you make when you exhale or you cry. And that's how you say it. Lord, I love that. But that's a Yahweh t-shirt too. And it's blue. And you know what? He's going to get me a blue one so that y'all can see the comments in there. My people say that you want to wear these white shirts. He's giving me a blue one. I like blue. I'm colorblind. Blue's the only color that I actually don't make the mistake of saying that's the wrong color. Mr. Morris, it's so cool, man. Love that. I had all right, I'm on it. Read it, Greg, read it. I will. And these shall serve to lay the foundations of heaven. Double dog, boy, y'all talking about the foundations of earth. And got some foundations of heaven. See a big old pillar coming down there. People say the foundations of earth. What are the foundations of earth on? I don't know. That's right. They have to be a pier footing, and that would be sitting on something else. Nobody knows what the shape of this thing is. And these serve to lay the foundations of the heaven, and to strengthen the earth, and to renew all the luminaries which are in the firmament. And he called Jacob, before the eyes of Rebekah his mother, and kissed him, and blessed him, and said, Jacob, my beloved son, whom my soul loves, may Yahweh bless you from above the firmament. That's right. And may he give you all blessings wherewith he blessed Adam and Enoch and Noah and Shem, and all the things which he had told me, and all the things which he had promised to give me, may he cause to cleave to you and to your seed forever, according to the days of heaven above the earth. And the spirits of Mastema shall not rule over you, or over your seed, to turn you from Yahweh, who is your sovereign ruler from henceforth forever. And may Yahweh Almighty be a father to you, and you the firstborn son, and to the people always. Go in shalom, my son. And that they went forth together from Abraham. And Rebekah loved Jacob with all of her heart and with all of her soul, very much more than Esau. But Isaac loved Esau more than Jacob. So That is the end of Jubilees chapter 19. And if there's any questions on Jubilees, man, I'll be glad to answer them because they're easy to answer in the book of Jubilees. You literally can look them up. The answers to your questions you can look up in the book of Genesis or the book of Jubilees because all of that is in Genesis right there. I think there's greater detail in the book of Jubilees, especially like in the beginning where it says Adam and Eve, when it starts naming their children. And, we got Cain and Abel in the Bible, but it's Azurah and Awan are the two daughters' names. And Cain took Azurah, his sister, and he started his whole little clan with his sister. All right. I have over 100 shirts printed. Super hard to stock, lots of color. Oh, man, he does, too. And he's been through it, buddy. I mean to tell you, he makes those things literally by his hand, and his dad's just the biggest sweetheart in the whole wide world. And if you want to support a great business, it's Mr. Morris, man. He's awesome. And it's the people like that help me. And, man, y'all got me on 4 days a week now. So I just hope that I can work 6 days a week for y'all and rest on the 7th with y'all. That would be my biggest thing, and I'm slowly getting there, man. The subscribers are counting and clicking in, and that's starting. We got some good news that TikTok will probably be around for a while, so my subscriptions do help me. People that buy my Bibles and what have you off of my webpage, that helps me. And I just have some great people out there helping me. My moderators that are on here, the big gifters that are on here. But let me tell you that I want to get back because we're going to give this Bible away. And this is the Dory Bible. If you ever seen any of my sketches, you ever see any of my work, it's going to be full of these right here. I'll show you. I use nothing but Dory sketches, man. I try to use Dory sketches because I not try. They're old. They're older than Moses. These are all Dory sketches. These are just amazing detail. This book, full of them. This book is full of them. These are just some of the pictures that are in. Look at the detail right there. That's so cool. I could look at these sketches just for a long time. Wow, that's amazing. Those are all in here. And you start getting to, wow, man, there's granting liberty to the Jews right there. These are all Dory sketches. And this Bible, you can see it's all gold painted on the edge. I do my big Bibles like that too, painted gold. It's all painted gold on the edge. And I'm going to have to say, sorry, that it has, these are all sketches. That column, that column, that column, and that whole page. These are all pictures that are in this Bible. And just as you flip through it, you can just go to any page you want to. It's just super amazing.
How do you want to do that?
I say you do like you did last time and just take the top gifters and pull the top names out.
All right, tell them we'll do top 25 gifters at 9 o'clock.
Top 25 gifters at 9 o'clock is what we're going to give this. We're going to draw to give this one Bible away. And then AJ's got some other ones that are actually pretty nice. And we'll give them away to you. And if you're on here and you're one of the gifters and all that stuff, and if you wonder if you won and you had to go away or something, text the Daily Inspiration or GG 6-pack. And I can't wait to get my Bible. I won a few weeks ago. Where is it? I was the first one to win. Oh, good. Then it's had to be out in the mail. We'd mailed 14 of those things out the other day. Make sure that go to Daily Inspiration and AJ. He's the one that's in charge of it. He literally, somebody donated the money for us to mail those out, and that was expensive. And we also had somebody donate the money to buy those Bibles. That's why I certainly appreciate that. I started getting all the stuff off my shelf and this is brand new. I've never even opened it. And they got a ding on it. So after I saw how cool that Bible was, then I decided that I was going to just go buy all of Dory's work. And I have it's called Plates, and it's all of his plates. That's why you see him in my work. I love using his stuff. This is Paul preaching to the Thessalonians. Dory had to do thousands of sketches, man. There's no way that this book contains all of his work.
Okay, can you take a breath every so often and read the comments?
Yeah. Uncle Greg, give me your thoughts on number 31, please.
Thank you very much. I reposted that one 4 times.
I'm sorry. What's number 31?
It was in the lesson you were reading. That's how long ago it's been posted up there.
What's number 31?
It's on your lesson. It said number 31. There's a number 31 on the lesson you just taught.
Oh.
Last page you taught.
Oh, is it verse 31?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, was I in the way? Thank you so much, Lisa. Y'all, that is going to get you in there. That's what daily inspiration. Contact him and make sure that he got your Bible sent to you now. Let me pull this up, and I'm going to pull up verse 31, and it is this one right there. Verse 31. And Rebekah loved Jacob with all her heart and with all her soul, very much more than Esau. But Isaac loved Esau much more than Jacob. That verse 31 right there, that's super cool. And that's basically what it says in Genesis. And then his mom sort of dressed him up like a goat and sent him in there and he got his birthright from Esau right there. I hope I answered your question. I'm going to sit here and stare at the comments to make sure that I get all of them. I don't want to get in trouble. Let me see this right here. Space-time morph. I see you. Did you get your Bible yet, too? That just got sent out. Space-time morph. Stephenable. True. Thank you, Journey, so much. I certainly appreciate that. And now I get to share some time with this work that I did with the seals and how we sort of justify those. Why are you so much little season? Why are you so sure we're in the little season? I'm not sure that we're in the little season. It says that he will be released from his prison. So it says that the little season is right there in 1033, but I don't think that the little season lasts for 1,000 years. I think that it lasts less than that because he is released from his prison at the 6,000 after the 1,000 years. So just know that he doesn't get released. So I have to say that the little season was sometime after 1033, which was 1,000 years after the crucifixion. But just know that the little season right there, that's right when the Crusades, and you can go look at all of the Christian persecution. I mean, think 1033, so many people in 1033 were like, Jesus is coming back or the devil's getting released. Bunch of hype going on, man. And there literally was an earthquake in Jerusalem that shook Jerusalem. That was a major earthquake too in the Jordan River Valley. And that's why I think that little season was exactly that, a little season. And then in 2033, I sort of feel like that is the end of the 2,000-year period that Jesus locked the devil away. And just know, man, that the trumpets, when they start blowing, that's what the seventh seal is. There was rest in heaven for about an hour, and then they started blowing the trumpets. And it all goes downhill from there, man. Why are you so sure? There you go. So that's why. I just like to read that stuff. Thank you so much, Lisa. I certainly appreciate that. Yeah, those glasses look better than my glasses. I like wearing Gigi's glasses. Hers are a little bit stronger than mine, and I think I get used to them. She said to take a break, breathe, and read my comments. I will. There are no comments. So I keep talking. I talk about this. You know, right here, Adam. it says the white horse. That's Revelations. That's the fifth seal, man. In Revelations chapter 12, it says, "And the white horse came from heaven, and upon him had the rider had many crowns on his head." That's the white horse, the white rider with the crown, and he was given a bow. Man was given a bow to know that God wouldn't flood the earth anymore, a rainbow. He was given a bow and said, go out, and didn't conquer the earth, to go out and spread all over it and to basically conquer it. But 1,000 years later, the fallen angels decided to come play around. That was during the days of Jared. And they were responsible for teaching us war and teaching us how to make weapons of war and swords. So 1,000 years later, after Adam, was when the second seal was broke, and that's the red horse of war. Now, we were just reading about Abraham, and he's from 2000 BC. And 2000 BC is when there was a huge famine in Egypt. You can see it right there. And he was that third seal is the black horse of weights and measures, and it's of great famine, and it says a measure of wheat for a penny, and don't hurt the oil and all that stuff. That's all great famine talk right there. And then a day is like 1,000 years, so these keep going. Then the next 1,000 years, and it's the seventh day that we're looking for, and a day is like 1,000 years. So there it is. And then Abraham, and then David, of course, he's a piece of work. I don't know, man. He killed so many people that his hands were too bloody to even build the temple. And hell followed with him. His son built the temple, which is the same place that Jesus walked up and said, just scrap this thing right now. Tear it all down. Not, hey, that altar, that little thing right there in the middle, that's really cool, man. You should tear it all the way down to that. It wasn't even a foundation of that. He said, scrap the whole thing. You, jackwagon, built your palace on top of Mount Zion. And your father David lived on top of Mount Zion, which is the same as the mountain of God. It is the city of David, which is the mountain of God. The city of David is Zion. Pineal gland. I know. I get all these things. That's what that big pine cone's doing outside of the Vatican. A big old 6 foot tall pine cone out there, man. I saw it. But these things are cool. I put a little work into that. And I'm going to show you some more of it, too. That, we've got the four horses of the apocalypse. And it says that these four horsemen right here, white, red, black, and green, are pale. And it goes through and lists them in the order, white, red, black, and pale. And these are the horses. These are the four horses. The rest of this is not. So just know that these four horses, and the book that we're reading tomorrow is the Gospel of Nicodemus, which is a New Testament apocrypha, and it says something really special right here. This is where they received the white robes. This is the fifth seal. It says, and they were all given white robes, and we were baptized in the holy river of Jordan and received white robes, every one of us. Just know that they were bathed in the river Jordan. They were given white robes, and the river Jordan has a white horse, a black horse, white horse, a red horse, a black horse, and a green horse. And I don't know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Those dudes, when the dead walked through Jerusalem, they were given the white robes, and they washed their robes into Jordan. It says that right there on that paper on this one. Right here, and they walked through and washed their robes into Jordan, and then they went across it. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's definitely where the horses are from, and that's what the story of those are. Just really cool it was what hit me off was the fifth seal, Revelation right there. And I saw heaven open up, and a white horse, and he that sat upon him was true and faithful. And I knew that white horse, that's Jesus Christ. This is Revelation 19. This is 2 chapters before the end of the book, 20, 21, and 22. And he had many crowns on his head. So when you turn around and read, there's that 1033. There's the earthquake that was in Jerusalem, 1033, Satan's little season. There was the famine in 2000 BC. That's Abraham. Hang on. I got it. Bear with me. touch this one. Oh, that's too close. Oh, maybe that's why I couldn't do that. Ooh, we're getting close. This is 1033 when they started all the Christian persecutions and the Crusades. Hang on. That's the fifth seal. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God. This is Revelation 20 right there. You can sure know that. And for slain for the word of God, John was beheaded for the word of God. And they cried out in a loud voice, "How long, O Lord? Holy and true, until I can't see, until you dwell on the earth." Then white robes were given to each of them, and it was said that they should go rest a little while longer. That's the same people that they're talking about right there that crossed the Jordan, and this is the gospel of Nicodemus right there. And they were baptized in the holy river Jordan. Jesus was baptized in the Jordan River. Makes totally sense to me. And we're looking for 4 horses of those colors right there. White, red, black, and green. My friend. Hey, Wayne. How you doing? I love that. Steve and Edible. I certainly appreciate every one of y'all. Ooh, 15 more minutes, man. 15 more minutes. These are all the things that I like to print out. We will be reading this tomorrow. This is the Gospel of Nicodemus, or the Acts of Pilate. This is New Testament Apocrypha, and it's just a super cool book. I made this book right here, the New Testament Apocrypha. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I certainly appreciate it. Those are cool jets. I love jets. And this is the New Testament Apocrypha. This is the Acts of Pilate and the Gospel of Nicodemus. I made this book. It's not that thing. It's like 47 pages or so. But it's real. AJ, you gave me that upper respiratory thing. And the trumpet is rattling, man. I got to put my little mouthpiece in a little bit better. But it's something going around. And my whole family has gotten it. But this is all printed on parchment. This is just a super cool book. And I like to read documents that are mentioned in my Holy Bible that say they are to be enumerated amongst the holy books, which is exactly where you're going to get the Apocrypha of the Old Testament. And you can read right there that among the other apocryphal writings of the Old Testament, which may be counted, enumerated, is the book of Jubilees, which is what we're reading right now. It's called the Little Genesis, or the book of Enoch, chapter 1, the book of Enoch 1. It's about 35 pages. These books are to be enumerated. You know why? Because they were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls right next to Genesis in the same amount of quantity and all that stuff. So I'm really glad that these people didn't go, "Oh, why would you do that?" And then these are the other books of Maccabees. And these are the ones that are to be enumerated. They're in that big Catholic Bible that I print right there. But I mean, those knuckleheads, they're the ones that committed the Abomination of Desolation right there. That's the Maccabees. This is the first book of Maccabees, the first chapter, and it tells about the Abomination of Desolation right there by King Antiochus. So there's, people go, when's the daily sacrifice is going to cease? And there's a 7-year covenant. Yeah, it's right here. When Antiochus, right there, I want to show you. That guy, Antiochus, he did this. He did that. He did this to these people here. And then after he did that, then he took all the books of the law and cut them up and burned them. And then he did that to all the people that were carrying around the books. And then he did some other terrible things right down here. But that's the first chapter in the first book of Maccabees. That's Antiochus, that guy right there. And then what he did was they ceased the daily sacrifice right there. And then 7 years later, they made a covenant or a treaty with the Romans to protect them. And right after that, that Maccabees dude, you can see K-I-N right there. I accidentally cut it off. He calls himself King of the Jews. And this guy right here, Gerizim, that's the Holy Mountain. That's where Moses told Joshua, go across the Jordan and put the good guys on the Mount Gershom and put the bad guys on Mount Ebal right over there. And that's where the woman at the well was, right there at Mount Gershom. And she goes, hey, man. And Jesus said, no, I think you're in the right place. I am a visual learner, and thank you so much. You know what? I read that comment, hopefully within a timely fashion. And it's because I literally can't see this stuff scrolling. But I'm a visual learner too. So when people go, there's a 7-year covenant. Yeah, that one happened right there. There's another 7-year covenant with David at Hebron, right what we were reading about with Abraham buried his wife. David lived in Hebron. Dudes come out of Jerusalem, come down and said, bro, we want you to be the king. He goes, give me 7 years. I'll be up there. I'll rule for 33 years. Oh, let's see. You're going to rule. Jesus was 33. You're going to rule on the mountain of God in Jerusalem for 33 years? Yeah. David, you saw what was happening, man. You got shown the generation of ages and all of that stuff, and you just thought it was your kids, bro. That's all. You made sure nothing happened to Absalom. Nothing going to happen to him. And then Solomon, go take him on the king's mule and go down to Gion and anoint him the Messiah. Because that's what it was. When you got anointed, the same word in Greek is Messiah, and the other one is Christos or Christ. So just know that. And he just thought it was like his kids. He didn't realize that this is 1,000 years later. That's why he wrote the 22nd Psalm that says, my God, why have thou forsaken me? For the dogs encircle me, and they pierce my hands and pierce my feet. What do you think about Daniel 9? Do you think Daniel predicted the end times? I do think Daniel predicted the end times. Daniel 12 through 9, Daniel chapter 12, 9, verse 9 says, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed until the time of the end. So I can assure you the piece about Daniel 9 and where he reads through that, Daniel chapter 9, Daniel prays for his people. Gabriel informs him of the 70 weeks. Right there. There's 70 weeks. You're going to hear 7 all the time. 7 times 7 is 49. That's the announcement of the Jubilee year. 7 times 7 years is the Jubilee year and Hallel the 50th year. But what was I going to show you right there? I do love all this. That's that book that I printed. I get that where y'all can see that. Y'all go to my link tree. When you go to my link tree, I want y'all to subscribe because it gives me your email address, and I've got like 1,500 of them. And me and AJ are going to try to do a 1,500 mass mailing out. And I want y'all to, we're going to send out email. And if that thing will click, I'll attach it to it. Let's do this one. Bear with me. There. We're going through the seals. Ooh, AJ's going to come in here in 9 more minutes and get that Bible away. Thank you so much, Matthew 24. I love it, man. And immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give it light. And the Son of Man shall appear in the sky, and all of the tribes of earth shall mourn. So don't think you're getting out of that one. Journey, thank you so much, man. I certainly appreciate that. Karen Mickle. I like it. I saw the guy had a name called Beer Run Bus, and I thought it was Barabbas. But that's just me keeping in the guidelines right there. You know, it's really hard for me sometimes to maintain who I am on here because Greg used to be a roofer. I still am. I know a whole bunch about it. But boy, I mean to tell you, if you think that I didn't live another life a long time ago, and that guy, he's right there on the edge of my seat. And it's hard to talk sometimes. Comment one thing that you've learned so far in Jubilee. I can tell you the most important thing that I learned so far in the book of Jubilees is the very first verse of the book of Jubilees. And that made me sell all my other pearls. And I bought this pearl right here. Thank you for asking me that question. As my son, you do better than to do that. I'll tell you the most important thing that I hope you listen to, AJ. Out of all these people on here, I want my son to know this one the most. that Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Come up to me on the mount, and I will give you 2 tables of stone of the Torah and of the commandment which I have written, that you may teach them." That's what I want you to take home, man. The book of Jubilees that was hidden in the Dead Sea Scrolls, that was verified by every continent on this planet, went there trying to prove or disprove the Bible, said that these books, the book of Jubilees, was sitting there sealed up, and for 2,000 years, just like Daniel said, "Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed." And out of all the books that they took out of the Bible, is the only one that was written by God that Moses received. He received, in Exodus 20, it says that he received the 10 commandments written by the fiery finger of God. And Jesus Christ said, "Moses gave you the law, yet you still seek to kill me." That's the law. Jubilees is the law. The 10 Commandments is the law. Leviticus is the book that was written by Moses, and it has about 30 different things that you can do wrong, and they can stone you to death for. And I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying I read the red letters, which is Jesus Christ, which is God speaking, and then I really have sold my pearls for this pearl. And this pearl is where I'm going. This one right here is the Word of God. And they changed something that's different in this book of Jubilees that would be the second most important thing that I learned out of the book of Jubilees. The second most important thing I learned out of the book of Jubilees was when Jacob got told by the angel struggles with God and all that stuff when he was named Israel. And that story reads completely different in the book of Jubilees, because the angel uses these in block letters. "Do not build this place." And Jacob stacked stones. Stone stackers, mason, whatever you want to call him. They said, the angel told him, "Do not build this place." And ironically, Jesus walked up and went, "What's this? Damn, guys have got it wrong. Buy your fruit, man." Hey, I love coming into your live this morning. Super awesome, super awesome. I hope you're not just joining. And it is 5 minutes away from your bedtime, mine too. But we're going to give this Bible away. If you can get in there, we're going to have the top 25 gifters, and I'm going to give this. This is my Bible. And this has been sitting on my shelf. It's been up there for, I would say this is probably a year or so old. But as soon as I found out how cool this was, I went and bought these books. I went and bought all of Dory's sketches and his plates, and they're actually the size of a sheet of notebook paper. Oh, that Job talking to his boys. He comes back strong, man. He's got a good second half, man. He's a good guy in the fourth quarter, man. So he also asked God, what shape is the earth? Like, where were you when I was holding back the sea? Where were you when I was holding back the winds? Where were you? Have you ever backed up and put your eyes upon it? Have you ever seen this? Have you ever laid a tape, a measure? Have you ever measured it? No. I've seen some NASA footages that show a can of coffee and some dudes dressed in tinfoil hanging by a string that never went outside of this firmament. And you get all these people saying that the Chinese people are working on the backside of the moon. Shut up. No, they're not. I don't believe any of that. That first moon trip, man, that was hilarious. They're calling the president, and there's a picture from the moon of Earth behind the president that they're talking to. And then they take off, and it blasts off. And I guess they left the cameraman on the I pray you recover quickly. From what? The cameraman, they left him on the moon when the thing blasted off. I know, they left Billy on the moon with the camera. I guess he teleported it over to the president, and then he took a picture of it, and they were all good with it. I can barely get a signal, but apparently space has awesome signal. You know what? I bet it does. It's also full of aether. Aether? It's ether with an A in front of it. That's Elon Musk's son, X, that's his middle name, Aether. And that's the fifth element. We've removed it from the list of elements. And it is the air that is way up there that you can't breathe. And they just had to sort of give it a name. So I guess if you breathe the same air as the heavenly angels, it's the air that would be in space or whatever is way above the oxygen level here. And my dad never believed that they went to the moon. I didn't believe they went to the moon. I've majored in video production, and I assure you that was filmed in a studio, and so is the rest of the stuff they filmed in a pool. And shooting rockets and all that stuff, that's pretty cool. That Elon Musk, I saw that rocket land and catching it and all that stuff. Those are all really cool tricks. I'm sure there's some kind of thing where they go up. But, you know, when they say space, like go to the moon, that's 225,000 miles. Okay, 225,000 miles right there. And just know that where the space station is like 220 miles. They're not even off the planet good. They're not anything to do with space, man. That's spacewalking and all that stuff, man. The pressures and the temperatures. Then they landed that Katy Perry thing. That thing landed. That thing never left. Oh, Bezo, he's all mad because he didn't get to open the door. Does the Bible say that there's a firmament? It absolutely does. In Genesis verse 1. Chapter 1, he says that he placed the firmament between the waters. And there was water above the firmament and water below the firmament. In this old Hebrew, it doesn't say firmament. It says expanse. And that means that he put something in and it expanded and there was water above. And that's why people say, hey, if it expanded, then it's got to be that shape. And those words are from the Oxford dictionaries. And that's where John Wycliffe, he's one of the first people to have transcribed the Bible. And they offed him right there in the church one day when he was reading his Bible, man. He supposedly had a heart attack. But they didn't like him for putting that into vulgar Latin, man. Those people were actually able to read the Bible. And we just read, oh, that wasn't a pinned comment. Thank you, Jesus. I only got in trouble. What do you make impossible to go, like, to the moon? Could that make it impossible to, like, go to the moon? I don't know. I just don't believe that the crap footage that I've seen, that crap, garbage. All the little stuff, man, they destroy the space station, man. I mean, the lady with the hairspray hairdo and all that stuff, shut up. I don't believe it. But then again, you know, they all told us to wear a mask. They all told us to go stay inside for 2 weeks and curb the control. They all told us to do all these things, and we all complied, man. We all did it. We all did. I didn't take that shot. But then again, I was going to wait to see what was going to happen with that anyway. I wasn't feeling sick, and I went through it. I went through COVID, and I lost my hearing. That's how I got deaf. That's why I talk like this. Could you possibly? But that's why I can't hear. This ear doesn't work. This one only works 20%. And I woke up one day during COVID, and after I had COVID, people lost their taste in my household. People lost their smell. And Greg woke up on a Sunday morning and couldn't hear nothing, man. My ear, and they haven't worked since 2020. I lost my hearing, and 5 years later, I've done all the tests and CAT scans and everything you can, and my head's full of thought. Oh, it's a 902. All right, we're going to give it away. Give it away. What do you want looking for?
Find some
Right next to the refrigerator, on the drawer right to the right-hand side of the refrigerator. AJ's going to go do some chopping. Let me show you what's going to happen, man. He's going to come in here, chop up some names, and we are going to give away a super double cool Bible. I mean, there's got to be hundreds of sketches in here. Remember when Talk to the Mule, when the mouth of the Lord came out of a mule? And it's because he saw an angel standing there. These are the graphics on that stuff, man. My phone is what's making those lines on it. These things are better than what the phone. I tell you what, if you turn that image around on your 4K resolution, and all my study guides, that's all I use, man. All I use is his work. And in my study guides, let me see. You can see, man, I put all of his work in there. I love making this stuff. And these books that I did with the 7 seals, I can't wait to get that to you, too. AJ's cutting up the names, man. We're going to give this Bible away. And then, yeah, I told you, 9 o'clock's my bedtime. But I have just enjoyed being part of y'all's family. Hey, sweet pumpkin, double do. I love monkeys just like you. I do. Don't I love the angel food cake? She's got one of those names, like y'all all have names with A, and this was Ava, my angel. And we got Arlo is the dog, AJ is the boy. We got a bunch of A's, man. We got a bunch of A's. Give me to me. Get here. Everybody loves Granddaddy.
Wave to him, Abel.
Everybody. Wait, do you love Granddaddy? Oh, what do you got? Is that my candy bar? Give me that. Give me my candy bar right back. I know. I love that. That's my life, man. That is my life right there. My grandkids.
Say hi. Addie wants to say hi.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, there's Addie, there's David, there's my other grandkid. This one's 12. That's why I'm going to make some of these versions of the Bible so that we can, because I'm talking to all these guys. We've got Aubrey. Is she here too?
No.
All right, so we've got this one. We've got so many different kids and the different ages, and this is Addie right here. Just love her to death. She's the one I take to school all the time, and me and you have some good talks in the morning, don't we? We always talk about Jesus. She says, I like to ride to school with Granddaddy because he talks about Jesus.
Addie has a friend watching
No.
you. His name is Talon.
Do you?
His name,
Oh, you got a friend
his
watching.
name's Talon. Tell him hi.
Say hi to
What's his name?
Talon.
Callan?
Talon.
Tally.
Tal-
Talon.
Talon.
I'm leaving.
Talon.
Talon.
Yeah.
Like a Talon?
Yeah.
That's his name? Shut up. Is your name really Talon?
Tell him comment.
Oh, it's right there. Oh, he's got a little flag. Talon. Is it really like a Talon? That's so cool. So that's your friend? Talon? What's his real name? Shut it up. What's your middle name, bro? I got to hear that.
Stop it, Greg.
I mean, what goes with Talon?
He's a kid.
I love him to death already. A name like that?
I know.
Could have named him Greg, man, and then he'd be over here in the dumb class with the Gregs. Or my brother Fred, just as bad. I like the name Talon. I sure do. What's the dog's name? Arlo. Arlo is the dog's name, and he's always on Granddaddy's shoulder. He is a service animal. He hears my phone. It's a bark that my phone, and Arlo hears my phone and awares me when I get a text or a phone call. So he is a legit service animal dog. All right. Hey, get Addie. Come in here and draw this name. Addie, come in here and draw this name. She got out of school today. Today was her last day at school. Talon, very cool, strong name. I love that. Is a cool name, man. That is a cool name.
Swish him around.
All right, so you go right here. All right, who's going to win this Bible? Right here. I'm holding it up. Talon. Get it. That could be the big winner.
All right.
This one.
Just
That's
reach in
right.
there. Don't look. Swish them around. And pick one out.
Ooh, I'm going to let you draw one, Ava, next. Because AJ's going to make
Randy!
it. Randy, oh my
Randy
God.
Staley.
She's cleaning up, man. I love her to death. I'm so glad you got that Bible. That's one of my best favorite. All right, Ava wants to draw one too. You got one of them books? All right, Ava, you want to tell him we're going to give him this one too since we got the names?
Pick one.
Pick
Just one. Just one.
That's two. There it is.
What do you got?
Granddaddy.
Exo Natives 88.
Oh, man, that was a lucky
Nice.
draw.
Exo Native.
Hey, let's go. How are you doing? Thank you so much, and congratulations on that. I tell you what, Randy, you're going to love that Bible. If you don't have one and you want one, that same Bible is in my go to my link tree on my bio page, and then you can go to my Amazon links and that Dory Bible with all the sketches. You want to give this one away?
Do another one.
All right, Ava, you got to draw one more. We got one more Bible. These are all red letter Bibles,
One
and
man.
we just do these as
Just one.
Ooh, that's one right there in your hand.
Who is it? Who is it? Frankly, Lisa. I think she won one also.
Oh wow!
Frankly, Lisa.
Man, it's my supporters, and I appreciate that. Y'all have got me from your subscriptions that you're doing. You're getting enough to me that I can stop, man. And I'm going to do this nothing but full time. This is what I want to be found doing. This is what I want to teach my kids. This is what I want to teach my grandkids. AJ just going to town.
Do another one.
All right, let's do another one right here. Ava, you can pick that. Ooh, look at there. That's a good name.
Cheryl.
Hey. Oh, my goodness.
Cheryl,
man.
let's go.
That's so awesome, man. I'm so glad that y'all won those. He takes the names and put them right there. If y'all are winners, contact Daily Inspiration, and he'll get your name, address, and all that stuff. We got it down now, how to mail them and what have you. Pick another one for that one. Frankly, Lisa. Pick another for that one. Hey, Lisa said to pick another name. I get it. Did you win a Bible last time, Lisa, already?
Yeah, she did.
You did? Well, you remember mailing that out? All right, we're going to pick another name. Frankly, Lisa is... All right, Ava, you go get the big...
Just one name.
Is it $1 billion?
Christy B.
All right, Christy B. That's a new name, ain't it?
B.
All right.
All right. So we'll
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Frankly, Lisa, you're just awesome. I meant that the way it sounded too. Frankly, Lisa, you're just awesome. And I certainly, Connor Kingsley, that's my other son. He is the father, this one over here, the 12-year-old. But we love all of our family, every one of them, every piece of my grandchildren and my children. I love them to death. And this is what we want to be found doing when the good Lord comes. We want to be found working in him and teaching a good word of the Lord. And that's what me and Arlo and Ava and Addie, that's what the four of us are going to be doing right here. And AJ, he's going to be busy in the mailroom. But you know I love y'all so much. Uh-oh. Yeah. Resulting gifting suspension. Oh, there, I got a warning for the youth. I can't have a youth on my lap now, so I got a youth expansion. I'm going to wrap the day up. I love y'all so much, and I knew that was going to happen. I love y'all, and y'all have a blessed day.